¿Qué pasa YouTube, aka what's up YouTube? Welcome to week number 7 of the ICP Lower Tier season. We're taking on MarioBee. His channel and stuff will be down below, so definitely go ahead and check him out. So before the actual battle itself starts, I'm going to let you guys know right now that this is going to be post-commentated from my opponent's perspective, because when this game happened we had to reschedule it because we pushed it back a little bit too far and I ended up falling asleep. So big thanks to the homie Mario, awesome dude, definitely check him out. And yeah, so I wasn't at my computer and Switch at the same time, so I do apologize about that. But week 8 will be done live and as normal. So if you guys just want to skip right to the battle, go ahead and do so. If not, then let's take a look at the matchup here. Mario has easily the absolutely best drafted squad in the ICP roster. This draft was the only S-rank draft as I ranked it, because it is very terrifying. He's got a lot of setup, a lot of offensive potential, defensive potential, and just very annoying threats in general. But the thing about this matchup is that Mario most likely is making playoffs. We are locked into playoffs as well, so I don't really want to bring my A game, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit here and I'm gonna do just a quick team builder. I didn't want to not do one, and you're gonna see what I mean by that. So going into the squad, everything that he has is probably, even the Spide Ops. Spide Ops is honestly kind of annoying because of the potential chance of it being able to webs and spikes. So I still need to watch out for that as well. Regardless though, our first team member here is going to be our lead 9 times out of 10, and that is going to be Quillfish. I want this to lead. Get up hazards. I mean, I might as well just put, well, we were bringing spikes. I want this to lead, get up spikes, die, and then just go from there. Next off, we have a pretty cool set in weakness, not weakness policy, weak armor, nasty plot, citrus berry, mandibuzz. Due to him not necessarily having the best flying resist, hurricane is able to do a lot of damage, and depending on the speed of the Regieleki, actually no, we should outspeed. I think we outspeed Regieleki. I don't know. But Regieleki shouldn't be an issue if he does bring. Honestly, I don't even expect Regieleki. We have Jolteon and we have Terra Ground Meloetta. We also have Golurk. It literally cannot touch Golurk whatsoever, so I don't expect Regieleki in this matchup. So there is a good chance that if we're able to nasty plot and get a +2 speed, that Mandibuzz might be able to sweep here, and that would actually be really awesome. And then we have Tinkaton, which is able to do some nice supportive help here. Next we have Meloetta, Calm Mind, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and then another undisclosed move here. We're able to deal with a good majority of his squad. Calm Mind Meloetta is an absolute nightmare for him to deal with, so I'm hoping that this can definitely put in a lot of work, along with our other mon here making its debut, Sergio the Jolteon. Quick Feed Jolteon is able to outspeed anything and everything that he could potentially want to bring. Calm Mind is amazing because if we find ourselves in a situation where we can Calm Mind at +1 once the Flygon is gone, or once the Flygon is weakened, then we're able to potentially sweep with this. Honestly, yeah, between Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and Alluring Voice, this is able to hit the entirety of a squad for neutral or super effective damage. And then finally off, we have Choice Scarf Mienshao, which is pretty nice because this is able to outspeed everything that is not a very fast Regieleki or potentially a Scarf Cobalion, which, I mean, Scarf Cobalion could be a thing, but I don't really think if it's scarfed it would be that big of an issue. So yeah, we'll see how things go. So let's jump into the battle. Okay, pause YouTube. Okay, what's up YouTube? So if you guys missed the beginning of the video and you just skipped to this, unfortunately I was not able to do this game when I had my Switch and my PC at the same time, so it's going up a little bit late because I got this side from my opponent's perspective, which is one of the commissioners of the ICP. This is week 7 of the ICP. We are taking on MarioBee, one of the homies. Check him out, his channel will be down below. He's doing like 3 leagues at once, which is insane. I did that only one time the entirety that I've been doing Draft League, and I'll never do that again. I'm sticking to one and I'm good on that. So If you guys do enjoy this, sorry for the voice crack, make sure to like, answer the question of the day. Thank you guys for the support of this season. We got this battle and then one more battle for the end of the regular season. So we are guaranteed playoffs, and there is a good possibility that Mario will also make playoffs. So I didn't want to bring my A game to this match. I go over what I more or less brought at the beginning of the video, but I do want to keep some things still secret. So looking at the matchup here, he brought just about everything I expected. I honestly did not think he would bring the Regieleki. That immediately terrified me because this is Quick Feet Jolteon. Even though I do have Terra Ground on my Meloetta, I have Quick Feet on Jolteon. So I already knew going into this the Regieleki was going to be a problem. Obviously, I didn't know that he was going to be dual screens because I can't see his items. So let's go ahead and get this started. So I figured that my best lead was going to be Quillfish because I want to try and get up hazards, hopefully immediately, as he ends up leading off with the Regieleki. Now immediately I'm thinking, oh god, he's gonna go straight for a Volt Switch, and this is just gonna be very, very annoying immediately off the bat. But it turns out that he's dual screens as he goes for the Reflect. I get my Flame Orb, and thanks to the Quick Feet, I am faster than him. And I think, if I remember correctly, he's not running max speed on this because I did not outspeed a timid max speed Regieleki. So I don't think he's close to max speed. Regardless though, I do get off a little bit of damage with the Shadow Ball, and now I'm debating on whether or not I want to go for another one, or if I possibly want to try and switch out here, because him getting up both screens is very problematic since I did not expect him to go down this route in this matchup. Now he needs to win this to secure his playoff potential chance, and I figured that if anything, he's not going to bring anything super aggressive, as he makes a nice switch into the Incineroar as I go for the Alluring Voice. I think I just hard switch out here. In hindsight, maybe I should have gone for the Volt Switch. Did I have Volt Switch? Actually, no, I don't think I had Volt Switch, or else I would have gone for it. Either way though, Quillfish should be a safe switch into the Incineroar. Obviously, I don't know that he is Choice Scarfed, so he goes for the U-turn into the Flygon. And the issue with this is that if he's Dragon Dance with the Scale Shot, this could potentially just sweep through my team. So I'm trying to figure out what I need to possibly do to not absolutely get destroyed by this. And unfortunately, I either have to go for the self-destruct or go for another type of move, and I just really didn't want to go for the second option because he does have the screens up. So I figured, hey, I might as well go for self-destruct. At least this way, if he goes for Scale Shot, then I still get off some decent damage, or if he goes Dragon Dance, he can't Dragon Dance again, as it actually turns out to be Boom Burst with the Throat Spray, and I am able to do some decent-ish damage with that self-destruct, even though he does have the Reflect up. So here I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I try to bring my Manchao in hopes that maybe he thinks I have the triple axle. Funnily enough, I did have triple axle on this in the initial plan, but I think I did swap it out for something else. So I'm gonna try and go for the U-turn, thinking, okay, well, if he does stay in, I can bring something else in on the special move and then just kind of go from there, because right now I need to figure out a way to stall these annoying turns of Reflect and Light Screen, because I am doing absolutely no damage to him. I have no way of potentially getting rid of them. I don't have Brick Break on anything, and you're gonna see the Mandibuzz set here when I bring it out. But I go for the U-turn on the incoming Incineroar, get off another little good bit of chip damage, and I'm thinking, all right, if anything, I can try and bring in potentially my Tinkaton, because I can outspeed him, get something going, and potentially bring in another Mon here to try and sweep. Unfortunately though, this is where I find out that not only is he Choice Scarfed, he's actually Adamant Choice Scarfed. Now if he was Jolly Choice Scarfed, I lived on a roll, because he told me after the battle he was adamant that 100% knocked out my Tinkaton. So that really sucks. Tinkaton was kind of a key member because it would have helped me to try and set up a little easier with my Mandibuzz here. As I bring in Mandibuzz, I'm going to reveal to him that not only am I weak armor, but I am also running Nasty Plot. He does not have the best flying resist on his draft. So now I'm a +2 speed and now I'm a +2 special attack. He does still have the light screen up, but I figured that maybe going for Dark Pulse would have been a little bit more in my favor. In hindsight, I probably should have just gone for the Hurricane. I honestly don't know why I went for Dark Pulse here. I think maybe I was trying to fish for a flinch, or maybe hoping that I would do enough damage. I couldn't check the calc, but I definitely should have gone for Hurricane, because if I knocked him out there, the fact that my Jolteon outsped his Regieleki meant that my Mandibuzz at +2 speed outsped his Regieleki. And look at his team, man. +2 Mandibuzz actually would have been able to put in a lot of work here. So it is what it is, as it's a double down. Finally I get a KO a couple late turns into the match here. Unfortunately though, I've lost my Tickenton and I've lost my Mandibuzz, and I sacrificed my Coolfish, so things are really not looking too good for me here. So expecting him to bring in the Regieleki, I bring in my Manchow in hopes that maybe I am able to outspeed him. Unfortunately, he is running enough speed to outspeed Scarf Manchow, which is really annoying because he's able to tank this close combat after going for the Reflect. So now I'm debating on whether or not I should go for another one, or maybe hard switch out, expecting him to go for the light screen, because I thought that maybe he would try to bring in the Sinistcha, and I do not want to allow that thing to get free turns of setup. As I switch into my Jolteon, he does end up going for the light screen. Maybe I could have gone for the close combat, but again, that would have probably allowed him to bring in Sinistcha, and at that point, if that thing gets Calm Minding, it's basically a good game. So I don't think this was entirely the worst play ever, as I'm able to crit the incoming Flygon with Alluring Voice. That definitely was important. I did not check the damage rolls, so I'm not sure if I would have been able to KO him through light screen, but the fact that I was able to knock him out in that one hit is absolutely huge, because that kind of puts me somewhat on the board. Now I went from 6-3 down to 4-3, as in comes the Cobalion. I don't think that he'll be able to outspeed me here, but there's no way that I knock him out in any one hit. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in this scenario, and I do have some bit of bulk on my Manchow, allowing me to live a non-life orbed close combat. As he does go for it, we do tank the hit, and now I'm debating on whether or not do I want to go for U-turn or do I want to go for the close combat. If I close combat him, I'm not going to knock him out, but I might put him in range of where my Jolteon can come in and then knock him out from there. And he doesn't necessarily have the best switch into my Jolteon, even though he does have the light screen up. But ultimately I decided to, you know what, I need to not let Sinistcha come in for free, so I go for the U-turn, banking on him, hopefully thinking that I would try to go for close combat. As he does bring in the Sinistcha on my U-turn, this is amazing, because now I can potentially try to bring in my Meloetta. I am Calm Mind Meloetta. Wait, did I have? Yeah, I did have Terra Ground on Meloetta. Sorry, I thought for some reason I didn't. But I bring in Meloetta here, and thanks to the Serene Grace, Shadow Ball has a 40% chance to lower his Spadef. So if worst comes to worst and we do get into a Calm Mind war, even though he does have the light screen up, I can hopefully at least spam Shadow Ball to lower his Spadef. But also with him having light screen up, I know that I'm not going to be doing any damage whatsoever to him immediately. So I figured that this is my best chance that I have to at least Calm Mind once or twice, and then just kind of go from there. So he decides to Terra into the Terra Fairy of Sinistcha here. Sorry, the loading screen there threw me off for a second, as he does go for a Calm Mind of his own. I believe I did Calm Mind as well. So here I was checking the turns of light screen, and just fair warning, I ended up miscounting the turns. I think I read Reflect turns instead of light screen turns, so he's got one extra turn that I didn't take into consideration, and that kind of plays a role later here, but we'll get to that in a couple turns. So I go for the Calm Mind, as he goes for the Terra Blast, does absolutely zero to me, thanks to the fact that Meloetta has a ridiculously high special defensive stat. So from here, I can either try to be aggressive, or I can keep trying to Calm Mind boost up. I do have the Citrus Berry as my item, but I figured that I'll go for one Shadow Ball just to see how much damage I'm doing, as I am able to get this Spadef drop. That is amazing, because he is now at neutral Spadef, and I believe I am at +2. So Reflect goes down here, and this is where I thought, okay, Light Screen went down, so I should just go for Psychic because Psychic has a chance to knock him out. In hindsight, I probably should have gone for the Calm Mind again. That way I would have been at +3 behind Light Screen. Essentially, I'm at +1. But the Light Screen, I believe, does end this turn. So here I would have been at +3, and then from there I would have been able to do even more damage to him. I'm not sure if me being at lesser HP necessarily mattered too much, but we are able to knock him out there with the next attack, as in comes the Cobalion. And even if he does want to go for the close combat, I will be able to easily live that attack and in return knock him out with the Psychic guaranteed. But as you're going to see here, he actually goes for the Iron Head, trying to get the flinch. Unfortunately for Mario though, Meloetta is well trained, and we're going to not get flinched here. I am jumping the gun a little bit. I think I was checking damage calcs, so yeah. Actually, I mean, if the turns have played out the same, then me going for another Calm Mind definitely was the better play, because unfortunately now he brings back in the Regieleki, and Cobalion is gone. He still has Blastoise in the back, and the fact that he brought in Regieleki immediately has me fearing the fact that he's either going to go for an electric move or he's going to go for Light Screen, and then it turns out that he has Shell Smash Blastoise. And of course, that is the worst case scenario, as he turns out to have Shell Smash Blastoise. And at this point, the game is essentially over. Unless I crit him, I don't think I win this game. I was able to fight back from a horrific matchup. I did get lucky with that crit on the Flygon. The Spadef drop on the Sinistcha eventually would have happened because I would have just spammed Shadow Ball if I didn't get it immediately. And now I'm trying to figure out, should I go for Psychic to do more damage, or should I go for Shadow Ball to try and get a Spadef drop? Because if I get the Spadef drop, even with the Light Screen up, I do enough damage to where Jolteon can come in and knock him out with Thunderbolt. But ultimately I go for the Psychic, which after Serene Grace is still a 20% chance to lower his Spadef. So I just figured that maybe doing more damage with the chance of a Spadef drop could win me the game. And here I'm just figuring I lost. I've tried looking at damage calcs, and there is one instance where I can win this battle after spending a couple seconds looking at the calcs. If I bring in Jolteon, I can go for the Calm Mind. After the Calm Mind, I live a Surf plus burn depending on damage rolls, because if I went straight for a Thunderbolt here, I don't knock him out because of the Light Screen. So I figured my best bets of winning are going for the Calm Mind and just hoping and praying that I live the Surf. As he goes for the Surf, I take the burn damage and I literally live on 1 HP, and that 1 HP survival is going to ensure us the victory here in week 7 of the ICP Lower Tier. Man, that ending sequence literally had me sweating bullets, guys. Like, I didn't need this victory, but winning this is nice because that ensures that we can at least end the season second overall, if I'm not mistaken. So while we won't end first because the first ranked opponent went undefeated, we can at least end second and get second choice for the opponent that we want to face in playoffs. So yeah, good game to Mario. Again, Mario does still have a good shot to make playoffs, but winning this was definitely beneficial for us to get a better shot at choosing who we want to play in the playoffs. So we got one more week. Again, win or lose, I think we do end second. I think depending on differential, we might end third if we lose week 8, but hopefully we win and we end the season second overall. So with that being said, leave a like, leave a comment, answer the question of the day, and I will see you guys next, actually no, not even next week, Saturday, because I'm going to try and get this up hopefully by Thursday night. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.